This is Giselle, a representative of the Craigslist user base. She is a 19-year-old student at Simon Fraser University. She spends a lot of her time studying, so she is very busy without much free time. She uses Craigslist primarily to list and find apartments and furniture. Let us observe as she lists her apartment.
After my first semester at SFU, I realized that I spent a lot of time on transit going to and from class every day. I didn't like the fact that I wasted so much time, so I'm moving closer to SFU next semester. I just listed my current apartment on Craigslist and I'm now about to look for a new place. I need a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment within 5 kilometers of SFU Surrey that's ideally furnished, with off-street parking, a walk-in closet, close to transit, and is dog-friendly. I would prefer a condo rather than a house or duplex as well. Craigslist is a very useful website, but there are a lot of problems. It takes a long time to find things if what I want is very specific. You don't really have very much control over the search results, and it's really hard to know for sure if a listing is real or not. There are warnings about scams everywhere, so you can never really trust anyone. The results also aren't very well regulated, so there are always duplicate posts and spam everywhere. The smallest search area I can choose includes Surrey, Langley, and Delta, and that's a really huge area, so it takes a long time to sort through only the listings that are in Surrey. Then I can only search for one thing at a time, so I have to open each listing and check for any requirement not in the filters or search box.
In our evaluation of Craigslist, we found that it has violated the following heuristics. There is a lack of constraint on the site because there are always too many options available to the user. There is a lack of consistency across the site. Page layout changes dramatically from page to page, with the navigation moving or disappearing entirely. There is a lack of visibility on some pages because of the amount of information present. The user will more than likely miss some of the information, some of which may be important. Due to the amount of choices available to the user, it is highly likely that the user will make a mistake or fail to notice an option available that would have potentially reduced the amount of time spent searching for a listing. As a result of our initial evaluation of Craigslist, we have created the following redesign goals. Giving the users more control over the content of their search results through the use of comprehensive filter options. Give the users more control over the content of the site and decrease fraud through increased community moderation, feedback, and accountability. Put an increased emphasis on the visual nature of Craigslist. This includes an aesthetic redesign, emphasis on images of listings, as well as more consistent and prevalent presentation of maps. Make the site more personal through the addition of favorites functionality, user profiles, and customizable default search settings. With this prototype, we placed a heavy emphasis on user safety and security. There are sections for poster feedback as well as listing comments and listing reporting if an issue requires employee attention. We also added a large suite of filters and sorting options to give the user more comprehensive control over their search results. This should make the user more comfortable completing their searches with faster and more relevant results. For our second prototype, we focused on clear visual communication of the data to the user. There is a minimal amount of content presented at any one time, and we created a very clear visual hierarchy which includes color and size of objects. It was clear from our testing that users had a hard time with the homogeneous and indistinct visual hierarchy of the current Craigslist design, so it was important that we address that. Upon completion of our prototypes, we carried out a user study to test our redesign hypotheses. The results showed that we did indeed accomplish our redesign goals. Here you can see that for both of our prototypes, users felt more in control of their search results and also that they were more relevant, with prototype B having a slight advantage. Again, our user study confirmed we increased user confidence in the legitimacy and safety of the site, which we feel will lead to decreased fraud. Through achievement of our redesign goals, user testing showed an increased perceived ease of use in 4 categories: clear information hierarchy, overall ease of use, information constraint, and layout consistency, all of which were problems with the original Craigslist.